Hi everyone. So today we will continue our development of our e-commerce platform. So as you can see, I have hosted the e-commerce platform in Netlify. You can see the front end here, you can see the categories, you can see the products, and you can see the details of the product. You can add things in the cart, and you can check out the cart items, you can order. So today we'll build the front end of the app using the backend that I have deployed in Heroku. So as you can see, we have a category controller where we can get all the categories. So each category has a name, description, image URL, and it has the products linked to the category. You can see that each product has a ID, name, image URL, price, and description. So today we'll build the front end for this app. We'll build the admin panel first. As you can see that if you go to the admin panel, we'll have a products categories. So if you go to the categories, you can see that we have a list of categories that we can see, that we can get from the API, smartphones, phone for all. You can see smartphones and phones for all. You can edit the category. You can see the name, the description, the image URL. For example, if I change it a little bit, like edit, we'll see that it should work. And you can see that now we have edit option here. We can revert it back. So now you can see that it's again back to the normal. So today we'll start building the front end for this using our backend APIs. You will learn how to integrate axios, how to integrate, how to call the backend APIs, how to make the entire UI. It will be great learning for you. Also, we have the product controllers. You can see that if we execute this API, you will see a list of products, and each product has a category ID to which category that product belongs to. So if you see our product of admin panel, you can see that we can find the category and you can change the category, you can change the name, description, image URL, price, everything. So let's get started. We'll start with creating a new project. So first we'll create a new project. It will be, so let's start. It will be Vue create e-commerce UI. It will be Vue create e-commerce UI. So we'll select Vue 3 and our project will be created soon. And if you open the project now, so if you open the project, we'll see the bare bone Vue.js project. Let's try to run it. And what's the issue? So npm run. Okay, so you have to npm first, npm install. let's wait for the installation and net run npm run serve. And if you refresh the page, you will see our app is there. So now let's add some router in this project, and let's also delete this component hello world because we don't need it. So let's delete this component, and from the app view delete the component. And let's also delete this one, delete the logo. Okay, so we'll see an empty page right now. And now let's add router in this project. So now let's add view, add router. And let's add the history mode. And now we'll see that we'll have one router directory with index.js, and you will see two views also there. So briefly, every view in the view folder that has a path in the URL. So if you see that in index we have about and home. So, and if you run the page, so let's run the page, and I think we still have some hello world somewhere that we need to delete. Where are you, hello world? Home.view. Okay, so you have to delete the hello world, and also you have to delete this one, this image, you don't need it. And it's also delete the hello world view. So now you can see that we have two link, home and about. So we can write something in the home page. So we can write it a home page and about page. So we know that how the router works. So every view folder, like every component inside a view, usually they have a router linked to that, and we have something in the component which we can use later. It's a reusable component. We can use it again and again into many routers. So that's it initially, and let's start with creating a new for the category. But first we'll add some styles to the app. So first go to the index.html, and we'll add some styles to the app. So I already have the styles here, so I'll just add the styles here to the HTML. Yeah, so let's add the title, demo e-commerce app. And let's add some bootstrap CSS and bootstrap icons that we will use later. So it looks nice. And also we'll add some bootstrap CSS like JS files later. It will help us later. I'll send you the files later. You can add it and it should work. Alright, so now let's create one folder in the views. It will be category, and inside the category we'll create a file. It's called add category, and it will have a template. Also it will have some script, and it will have some styles. So let's write something here. Div add category, and you will see that file in the router. So let's create a router for this. We'll create one path, and name will be also add category in capital, and we have to link it to a component. So let's import the components here, like same with like this views, and it will be category, and it will be add category, and let's import it here, and it will, and we'll see if you go to this add category, or let's make it little bit better. We can make it admin and category, and then add. And if you go to this page now, we should see this category page. So let's now go to the ATT and see this page. It is there. So we can see that add to category is present. Now we'll add a form. As you can see here, we'll add a form. To add a category, it will have category name, description, and image URL. So let's create it. So we can make a div class container, and then we can make a div class equal to row, and then div class, let's make it text center, and then make h3 one heading that add a new category. Let's remove the div 3, and let's now close the div, and now also close the div here, and we'll create one more class, div class equal to row, and now we'll create a form. And let's keep it div class form group, and label will be category name, and we have input type equal to text, and we have to give a class equal to form control. It is a bootstrap CSS. You can check out the CSS for that, like you can check bootstrap form, and you can see that we have a form group and we have a form control, something like that. We will implement something like that. So like we can implement this form control, and we can close the div, so you can see it now. And we can also close the form, and you can close the div, and you can see that we have now a form category name. And similarly we'll have description and image. And category image, and we'll have a submit button. Submit. So you can see now it looks pretty ugly right now. So let's style it a little bit, and we can make it center. So what we can do is we can, in this row, we can give a left some left margin. It's called div class equal to column 3. So now it is now bit center, and like we can make it inside a div. So we can divide the entire screen into 12 part. We can leave the 3 part here, and we can use 6 part here, and we can use right 3 part, so that our form will be in the center. So we can give 3 part here, and then we can give 6 part here, and we can give 3 part here, and we can make the form inside the 6 part. So it looks bit center and nice. Let's format it a little bit, and so now you can see it's in the center. And also you have to make it center, so we can give a class 53, and we can give it column 12 to make it center. So now you can see it is in the center, and we have category name, description, image. You don't need to write name, just name and description will be enough. Image looks okay. And let's also, in the button, let's also give some class equal to button, and button submit. It might work. Yeah, or you can give it primary to make it look nicer. Okay, yeah, actually you can also make it text. So you can make it, let's see, bootstrap form, this one. Yeah, so yeah, it looks nice. And now we'll integrate something called axios, and we should also know something about vModel. So it is called binding. So we can declare three variable here, which will be, we can make it data, and we can make it return, and we can create three variable, category name, which will be default, which will be empty when it's default, and description, and we can also create one image. So, and we will give vModel, we'll bind it with the input form. So it will be vModel category name, vModel description, and vModel is image URL. So anytime we put something here, we'll see that this variable will be updated accordingly, and we can use these three variable to send a response in the backend. So now let's install Axios. So npm install save Axios. Okay, so let's import Axios. Axios, and we have to place it not here but after this, and now we'll have an action. So when someone click the action, so we'll trigger a function. So how can you do that? We can add this function dot click equal to add category. So when this function is clicked, I will get this function will be called. So I will declare a method section, and here I will declare add category, and let's first console log our category name, description, and image URL to see if it is working or not. It will be this dot category name and this dot description. Okay, so we are getting some error for unused variable, but that's fine for now. It should still work. Okay, we cannot use it right now, so let's comment it right now, and let's see if we can get some console log name, description, and image. If you submit, Also you have to, so see, if we click the button, this page will be refreshed. So what we can do is we can not use the submit, we can just use button. And now this page should not refresh, name, description, image, and you can see that our name and description is working. So sample category and sample description, you should see it's working. So now we have to call this API to create the category, and you have to pass the category name, description, and image URL here. So let's integrate the axios here now, and here we will declare, so we'll create a new category. We'll get an object, it's called constant new category, which will be the category name, and then we'll have description, and we'll have image URL equal to this dot image URL, and we will declare a constant base URL where we will send our data. It will be this one, and now we'll trigger this function axios, and then we'll send method equal to post, and now URL will be base URL / category and create, and data will be the request body, which will be JSON.stringify new category, and headers will be content type, application /JSON, and once we post it, we'll have a response, and if you get some error, it will be catch. And let's also integrate something called sweet alert. So when we get a response, then we'll display in a nice way that we have a nice alert system when you get it. So let's install this package. It's called npm install sweet alert. So let's also import it from here. And let's, once we get this response, then we can display the sweet alert. Text will be category added successfully, and icon will be success. So let's try to see if it works. So let's see, we can copy something. We can give electronics and some image URL. Paste electronics item. So let's try to submit it. We got an error. Oh, this already exists. So electronics. Let's give a electronics test, and you can see that category now is, we can get a sweet alert. And why is the icon is not working? Oh, it should be small. Success electronics. Okay, so now we'll do one thing. So now we'll make one new page. So this is working fine. Now we'll display all the category. So for that we'll create one page. We'll create one page. So it will be, we'll create now this page where we will display all the categories that are present. And now if you refresh the page here, you will see that we have this electronic test present here. So now so our API is working. So now we'll just create this page. So let's go ahead and create one more page. It will be called, let's get a more page. It will be called category.view. And it will have the same thing. It will have the same thing as before, but we'll just little bit change it. We don't need to have the method add category. We'll need to have axios and sweet alert. We don't need to maybe have sweet alert right now. So just delete it. And we also don't need to have this data right now. And it will be our categories. And we don't need to also have this form here. So let's just delete the form. and let's also delete this div. And now let's integrate it in the router. It will be just category, and the name will be also category, and it will be also category. So import category from views category category. Okay, now it should work. If you go to our page and if you just go to category, we can see it's working. Now we'll display each category here. So for that we'll use something called components. We'll create a box, a component called categoryBox. For each component, like you can see that here, each one will be a box, categoryBox, and we'll create this component, and for each category we'll just display each category into this using this component, and that will give us this nice layout. So let's go here, and in the components let's create one component. So let's create a directory called category, and here we will just save this file, components category, and let's name it categoryBox .foo. And so what will it have? It will also have a template which will have a div class. I will use something called card to you. It's a bootstrap card. You can check out here, card. It will be like this card. We'll use this card like this. And let's give some height 100. And now we can have something like image top and card body, which will have some title and some text. So we can just copy this one and paste it here. We will have a card body, and this can be also part of some div. And we will populate it with the source. So, and it will be, so first we will import our variables here. So we'll have a script, and we don't need this one, but we'll need something like export default. and we'll have name equal to category box, and we'll have a props, and we'll pass category here, and methods, we don't need any methods here right now, so we can keep it empty. So we'll have a category object passed, and here I will, in the image, I will display the source will be category dot image URL, and title will be category dot category name, and description will be description. And so we'll use this, we have to pass this, we have to pass the category prop in this component, and then you can display it. So in the category views, we will first import this component. So first what we will do is we will import category box from components, category box, and also we need to call the API and first get all the categories. So in the method we will have a declare a function, it will be async get categories, and here first we will get all the categories. So first we will do axios dot get, and let's declare the base URL like we declared here. We can declare it like this. And let's get all the URL here. And then we'll see what the response is, and we can store the response in a variable. We can call it as categories dot categories equal to response, or if you get an error, then we just console log the error. and it will be res.data. So first we can see what the data is, and also you have to call these functions in the mounted method. So this is the method that is called when the page is loaded. So here we will call this dot get categories, and we need to import the axios, which is here. What is the error that we are getting? Let's check. Oh, we have, it will be mounted. We need to have an slash at the end. Stupid, but let's give it. And now you can see our categories are coming here. Now we can just display one of the category. We don't need to display all. So we can see we have a category name, products. So now we'll call the category box and display each category through the box. So we can do is we can make a class row. In this class we can tell that div for category of categories, and we have to pass a key. We can make it dynamic by this one, and category dot id, that will be the unique key. And let's try to display it. So now let's import it now. And let's pass the prop here. And let's see if it works or not. We're getting it's not defined, so maybe let's see. So maybe you need to quote it. And yeah, now you see that we have our objects here. They are displayed, but they look really horrible. So now let's try to fix it. We don't need to. So let's close everything except category box and category. So what we can do, we can remove this one, and we can, so what I can do is we can give it some class. When the screen is large, so we can give 4, and if the screen is small, we can give it like medium, we can give it 6, and we can also give some flex. So let's see how it looks. Yeah, now they are in the same thing, but it still doesn't look good. So what we can do is, in category box, we can give width 100 and height 100. So now they looks better. Now we need to give some padding. In each box. So what I can do is we can give some margin yeah. So now it looks better with PT3. And now we need to make sure the image are looking nice like we have it here. So what we can do is we can give some aspect to the images. So what we can do is we can, in the category box in the image, we can add some style here. So you can make it responsive. So we'll give some style here. Yeah, so now it looks much better. So with this, our categories is all right, and we will give an option to add a new category here. So here in the category this, we can add the option, router link, and 2 will be and we can add category. So it will be a button. And let's make it button. So you can see that we have a button here, and let's make it float right. And here if you can go, you can find it. Seems good.